Fit like Abdi, Danny Boy here, and we're back with a review of the Gotthard round 1 of the At the Races championship. This was a beautiful map. We're also going to have the Stewards inquiry if it happened to the German Class 103 in the Electrics haulage race, and we'll have a short little preview of the next map that I'm going to be setting up the next race in. So we'll head around the Gotthard line for one last look. It was a very beautiful map. It's a very well designed map, so fair play. I can't remember the name of the modder or the map maker that created this, but it is very beautiful, especially with the sunset mod as well. It was a good map for the first couple of races for round 1. There were some pretty epic scenes, and obviously the results still standing. The Germans and the BR003 in first with the steam trains, and the Chinese diesel, the DF11, in first in the diesel locos. It seems pretty unstoppable, so the next we might have to find a way to sort of make it a bit more fair for the other trains. And in the electrics we have the Norwegian is it the ESB11? Can't remember, but they're in lead for the electric trains. Now this is the area right here where the German train screwed up, but we'll get to the Stewards inquiry in just a moment. So I had planned for these At the Races episodes to come out 2 at a time during the weekend, on the last weekend of April. I had planned them in advance. For I went to upload them though, I encountered some real difficulties. Uploading was fine. The upload time was extremely long. Now I do have longer videos, mostly Transport Fever videos that are from the high detailing series, and I did not expect them to be that long. And then I had an issue with processing where the videos would process to 98%. Now I had uploaded them first thing in the morning and scheduled them to air the first race at 8 o'clock in the evening and the second race at 10 o'clock, because I normally upload or set all my videos to be scheduled to release at 8 o'clock at night. It's just easier for me, and so I stuck to my original plan that I've always done, but it didn't work. The Saturn processed till about 98%, then they subsequently took about 6 or 7 hours to sort of process that last 2%. Now I have been on all the forums and that. I do know YouTube sometimes has issues with processing, uploading, etc, etc. You can't really blame them. There are God knows how many people at one time uploading a video, or how many videos being uploaded per day. It's a pretty madness amount. So I don't blame YouTube. I just took a lesson and thought that when I come to do the next races, I will upload them well in advance of the last week of May. Before the last weekend, the end of May will be, the weekend at the end of May will be where round 2 is aired. So I just need to remember and upload them well in advance. I did try everything to sort of get them to air on time, and it's taken till Wednesday to finally get the last one uploaded, which is the bonus race, which was just aired about an hour ago. And we wanted to see from the results of the bonus race that any trains in this inside track were sort of at a loss from the beginning. They were sort of hindered from the start, but I'll work it so that every train in every race has to sit in this inside track, because that is always going to be the slowest, which is a shame. But Anywho, there was the issues I had with YouTube. I do apologise. I did try to get them out on the same day. I had times where that's the second race would become available for people to watch on YouTube before the first race, and there was a lot of people that ended up watching the second race first before watching the first race, and I think they were a bit confused when it came to the results screen. But by the next race, by round 2, we should have that fixed. So here we are, just coming to the end of the Gotthard line. Very beautiful map. You can find it in Steam Workshop. I think it's under the Gotthard Pass. Beautiful map. Great first venue. I was very pleased with it. It took quite a while to build this track and sort of decide where it was going to go, but it was a lot of fun, and it was fun watching the trains racing around it. So I did promise a steward's inquiry of what happened to the class 103. So without further ado, here is some footage, and we can sort of see if it actually happened to the train. So I hope this is enough to please all the skeptics out there. There was no sabotage. It was a freak of nature act of the game. So without further ado, here is the steward's inquiry for the class 103. So as you can see here, I've got it set up to the point where the German train sort of has its catastrophic mishap. Prior to the train arriving at the part where it started to slow down, I had the Russian train in first open, and the HHB8 American train open. Now as we play along, the first train to pass, now I've just closed that window, but I haven't pushed stop on that train, so it should still go. There's the German going past there, and the Russian train. Now as we head along, I do open up a second window, I do believe, if I can remember correctly. There's the Spanish train in last. Yes, so the Spanish train and the other train, there's nothing to indicate here that the German train is gone until now. Now as you can see, there is the, I'm not sure which train it is. I think it's the Russian train in first. Here is the German train that was in first, and it's starting to slow down for reasons unknown. And we'll play it forward a slight touch. There it is. It's now being passed by the French train, so it's gone from first. There's the Russian train, the Norwegian train, and the German train. So I then close the window for the Spanish train, for the American train. This train, the Spanish train, is still open. As you can see, the German train is falling behind back there. You see the red and you see the little cream bit beside there. So I'm not sure if it actually happened. Here is the point where I realised that the train is missing. It's no longer in first. It's completely gone from sight back here, and it's way back in last. Now here's where I pause it and then try to figure out what the hell happened. Now I'm not exactly sure if it happened. I did get a comment from D-Wall or DeWall, and he said that in his Transport Fever game, sometimes if the game is a lot to process, it does sometimes stop trains or slow them down momentarily. And I'm inclined to agree with him, because that sometimes happens in my Transport Fever games. I'll randomly come across a train that should be going full speed that is actually accelerating or stopped for a brief moment. So I think it's just one of the weird things that the game does. I do apologise to any Germans out there who wanted the class 103 to win. It was doing well, but that's the only reason I can think of why this train randomly came to a slight stop and then started again. It was nothing to do with the track, it was nothing to do with anything I did. It was just a freak of nature part of the game. So I'm not actually sure why it did it, but there it is. The steward's inquiry is complete. It was just a random act of fate. So I'm not sure what other else to call it. But anyway, that is the end of the Stewards inquiry. So that is it for the Stewards inquiry. I hope I answered any questions anybody might have of what happened to the train. So we'll say goodbye to the Gotthard or the Alps one last time, and we'll head over to our new map. The new map which I am thinking about using for the second race. So here we are. Welcome to the Grand Canyon. Now this is the Grand Canyon. I do believe it's a 4K map. Looks pretty awesome. So there's the cities there. We've got Vegas, Cedar City, Willow Springs, all that sort of places. And I was thinking we could have a race through the Grand Canyon. I'm sure I'll be able to set something up here. That'll be quite interesting. We can have it running over the top, coming down into the canyon, running through the canyon. There are various different areas that we can use. That'll be quite interesting. So this is just a brief look. I haven't actually made the race course yet. I shall, but this was just a sort of sneak preview of the next event, which will be round 2, and I do believe the first race of round 2 should be on the 25th. The 25th of May will be when the next races are. It'll be round 2 of the Art of the Races season here in the Grand Canyon. So I will have to design a track for this. I know some people have been leaving comments about races they would like to see, but I may actually change. A lot of people were asking for American freight, so I may use American freight going round here, which would be interesting. So that's just a sneak preview of the Las Vegas map. So until the 25th, there will be no other races until the 25th. Round 2 will begin on Friday the 25th, and until then I'll just be carrying on with my high detail and series of Transport Fever and Surviving Mars, Industry Tycoon, things like that until then. So I'll start this well beforehand though, so I should be able to put more work and effort into it. So until then, I hope you're excited for round 2. I certainly am. But that's been it for the review of the Gotthard races, the Stewards inquiry into the Electrics haulage race, and the preview of the Grand Canyon map, which will be round 2. So until then, I've been Danny Boy. This has been the review of round 1 of the At the Races in Transport Fever. Also, as always, if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to leave a like, comment or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if you'd like to comment with any maps or trains you'd like to see in races, or general just comments about previous races, please feel free to do so. They are much appreciated. But until then, I've been Danny Boy, and I will catch you later.